Along with Al Roboski, I'm Dan McLaughlin. Welcome to Cardinals baseball. Big news, though, the trade deadline come and gone. Ryan Ludwig, now a member of the San Diego Padres. Cardinals pick up a pitcher from the Indians. And Al, just right off the bat, your thoughts on the deal?
First impression is I do not like the trade. This ball club needs a lot of offense. They have not been getting that offense. They get rid of one of their better offensive players. Yes, they need pitching. And we'll go into some of the reasons why the ball club has done this. But they felt like they had protection with John Jay, Alan Craig, and Stavanoa. John Jay did have 3 hits last night. He has been just stinging the baseball. We still haven't seen a lot of power. He is an all-around player, good defense. But, you know, Ludwig was the best.
So tonight, the Cardinals officially retire Whitey Herzog's number 24. When we come back, you'll see the special ceremony right here on Fox Sports Midwest. Five team were introduced. Many of those players have come from out of town. Guys like John Tudor, Tom Lawless, who's coaching in the minor league system of the Houston Astros, Danny Cox as well, who's coaching. There you see the Hall of Famer, Red Shandies. Cardinals ownership is represented. Rick Hummel, voice of the Cardinals, Mike Shannon. So this will be a very, very special night here at Busch Stadium.
Good evening. And now let's greet the newest member of the National Baseball Hall of Fame, the White Rat, Whitey Herzog. Today's appearance would not be complete without a visit from the world-famous Budweiser Clydesdales, a lasting tribute to the man that brought him to St. Louis and longtime friend August Busch Jr. Task. It takes good friends, great players, and a strong family. Let's meet some of those people who are with us on the field tonight, helping us celebrate with Whitey. Let's start with his family. His 3 children, 9 grandchildren, and 1 great-grandchild make up a strong family support system. Representing them on the field, his wife, Mary Lou. To this group a few minutes ago as we continue to salute members of the National League Championship team, your 1985 Cardinals. He didn't join the Cardinals until 1986, but became a secret weapon for Whitey's teams in the 80s. Representing the current Cardinals team, third base coach Jose Kendall. Jose? And he's one of 2 managers ahead of Whitey in the all-time Cardinals wins. Hall of Famer Red Schoendienst. General manager of the current Cardinals team, John Mozeliak. Principal owner and club president, Mr. Bill DeWitt Jr. and Bill DeWitt III. Representing teams from both Kansas City and St. Louis from the state of Missouri and Governor Jay Nixon's office, the director of the St. Louis Regional Office and Chief Staff, Rex Burleson. At this time, we ask Rex to come to the podium to present Whitey with a proclamation.
Thank you, Mike. Whitey, Governor Nixon is in Connecticut this evening for the commissioning of the USS Missouri submarine. The governor asked that on behalf of the people of the great state of Missouri that I congratulate you on your induction into the National Baseball Hall of Fame in Cooperstown. Also, on behalf of the people of the great state of Missouri, we thank you for all of the exciting baseball played under your helm as manager of both the Royals and our St. Louis Cardinals. In recognition of your induction and the joy you have brought to the people of Missouri, I present you with this governor's proclamation. I would like to take the time just to read the final portion of the proclamation. Now, therefore, I, Jeremiah W. J. Nixon, Governor of the State of Missouri, do hereby proclaim today, July 31st, 2010, to be Whitey Herzog Day in Missouri. Congratulations, and thank you, Whitey.
Thank you, Rex. Whitey's teams were built on speed and defense. In 1981, he made a move that came to epitomize the era of Whitey Ball. Join me in welcoming to the podium fellow Hall of Famer, shortstop Ozzie Smith.
Thank you. Thank you, Mike. Rat, on behalf of all the guys here, just want to say how exciting it was to have the opportunity to play for you. You made coming to the ballpark fun every day, and congratulations to you and Mary Lou.
Thank you, Wiz. The decade of the 80s in Cardinal baseball saw Hall of Famers on the field, in the dugout, in the broadcast booth, and in print. The teams in the 80s moved so fast that it was tough to keep up even when you were writing about them. Please join me in welcoming to the podium fellow Hall of Famer and beat writer for the Cardinals during the Whitey era, Mr. Rick Hummel, Hall of Famer.
If you're over 30 years old, you recall baseball being played here in the 80s like it was played nowhere else. The Cardinals hadn't won anything for more than a decade until Whitey Herzog showed up in 1980 to manage them. A couple of months later, he went to the front office to become the general manager. One of his first moves was to hire himself back as manager and then trade 14 players for 11 in a space of 4 days in Dallas. And less than 2 years after that, the Cardinals had their first National League pennant in 14 years and their first World Series title in 15 years. In the next 5 years, they would win 2 more National League titles. They did it with speed, defense, pitching, a little power, and a lot more speed. And with a manager who sometimes was 3 innings ahead of the other manager. And the best part for me was that no matter what Whitey did, he always took the time to explain what he did and why he did it. The Cardinals, with another great manager, Tony La Russa, have left their own legacy here with 2 pennants, 1 World Series, and 7 playoff appearances in the last 10 years. But Cardinals baseball was pretty dead until Whitey Herzog got here in 1980. He wore number 23 and wore number 3 when he got here, number 24 the next year, and last weekend in Cooperstown, New York, he got what he deserved. He's in the Hall of Fame. Congratulations, Whitey.
Thank you, Rick. And now, won't you please welcome to the microphone the Cardinals owner, Mr. Bill DeWitt. Bill?
Thanks, Mike. Whitey, when you joined the Cardinals in 1980, fans immediately embraced you and Whitey Ball, which quickly became synonymous with winning and helped define one of the greatest eras in Cardinals history. As Rick mentioned, the Cardinals won 3 National League championships, a World Championship, and 822 games during your record as manager. The Cardinals also during that time drew 3 million plus fans, which set attendance records, which continued for a couple of years and built a platform upon which we still are happy to say we're doing today. We're honored you have joined the elite and distinguished group of Cardinals in the Baseball Hall of Fame and are delighted today to officially and permanently retire your uniform number 24, to pay tribute to you and recognize your distinguished career and many contributions to the Cardinals. Thank you and congratulations.
Thank you, Mr. Witt. Now, please direct your attention to the left center field area where we pay homage to Whitey by adding him to our wall of distinguished Cardinal greats, officially retiring the number 24. Unveiling the number is Whitey's son, Jim, and his grandsons, Alex and Eric. Nice work, fellas. And last but not least, please join me with a great welcome to the podium, our newest Hall of Famer, Whitey Herzog.
Thank you, Mike. Thank you. You know, you got to get the ball game going. Thank you.
You know, last Sunday, I was fortunate enough to be inducted to the Hall of Fame at Cooperstown. And it's a wonderful experience. But let me tell you, folks, to be here tonight with my number getting retired in Busch Stadium, in front of you wonderful fans, in front of my family, all the players that are responsible for me being here, is right up there with it. I really feel sometimes that having my number out there on that wall with the other great Cardinals means more to me, not more than going into Cooperstown, but it really means a lot because for the next 100 years, everybody that I know over in Southern Illinois, people I grew up with, when they go to the ballpark, they'll see my name and my number out there, and that's really great. So I want to thank Mr. DeWitt, the entire Cardinal organization, for this honor. It really, really means a lot to me, and I couldn't be happier. Thank you all very much.
Whitey Herzog. Thank you, and how about a nice Cardinal win tonight? God bless.
The great Whitey Herzog, number 24 on the wall forever now here at Busch Stadium. We've got baseball coming up. Major League Baseball. That means Ryan Ludwig is now a member of the San Diego Padres. The pressure squarely sits on the shoulders of young players, Colby Rasmus and shortstop Brendan Ryan. A veteran gets the start tonight here in Game 2 against the Pirates, and that's Jeff Supine. We're expecting over 40,000 here at Busch Stadium tonight. Perfect evening for baseball. Comes your way next. flavor and a crisp, clean finish. It's what we do. By Dobbs Tire and Auto Centers, #1 for quality tires and expert auto service. By Steak and Shake, life needs flavor. And by Chevy's Expert Auto Service. See your Mid-America Chevy dealers or shop and compare at stlchevy.com. Very nice giveaway. The bobblehead, he is standing on a plaque that says, "Welcome to the Baseball Hall of Fame. Welcome to Cooperstown." And they also have given away with that bobblehead the plaque that was used and is in Cooperstown with the Hall of Fame representing Whitey Herzog. Very nice giveaway here tonight. A look at the lineup for the Pittsburgh Pirates. Andrew McCutchen, Jose Tabata, and Neil Walker. Then Jones, Alvarez, Millage, Cedeno, Kratz, and Daniel McCutchen is their starter. Jeff Suppan will get the start for the Redbirds, our Marshall Wireless Sprint starter.
He's looking for his first win of the year. It's his 10th start of the season, 8th since being acquired by the Cardinals. And maybe this is what get him over the hump. He's 14-3 against the Pirates. 3-0 also against the Pirates with an ERA of 3.10. So maybe this will be the key to get Suppan his first victory of the year.
Tony La Russa, as this is popped up to the right side. Pujols over and runs out of room. Was asked why not Westbrook tonight, who was just picked up. They looked at Cliff Lee. They looked at Oswald, who was roughed up at his start. They said they just didn't want to rush him here and then throw him into the rotation, throw him into the fire, so to speak. So tomorrow it's Wainwright, normal day's rest. Monday will be Westbrook.
I would look forward to seeing this sinker baller.
That's pulled foul.
Mixed emotions, isn't it?
Big time.
Sure, with all the fans and players as Cardinals say goodbye to a very good Cardinal. And Ryan Ludwig, his team has needed offense, but they felt like a more pressing need was to acquire a starting pitcher, and they'll dip down into the minor leagues to get more help offensively.
Hit to third. Handled easily by Lopez. One away, and McCutchen so far has been quiet in this series. Holiday, Rasmus, and John Jay in the outfield. You'll be hearing those three an awful lot now. Lopez, Ryan, Schumacher, and Pujols along the infield. In the battery tonight, Jeff Suppan and Yadier Molina.
John Jay's been outstanding. He has really stung the ball. He's hit .456 average, second in the major leagues this month. But we do have to remember it's only about 60 at-bats for his major league career. But everything he has done is he's passed flying colors.
But to me, that's probably the big question with this, Al, is, has John Jay shown you enough where you feel comfortable playing him every day and allowing a guy that was arbitration eligible next year, which was Ludwig, to be traded? And Ludwig was very popular inside that clubhouse, too.
Most definitely. And John Jay, he's shown that he can hit. And also the Cardinals feel they have protection with Alan Craig and Stavanoa, who's been called up. But they are gambling. John Mozeliak makes the point that the Cardinals' offense was clicking better when they had, the 5 starters before they had injuries.
There's a liner into right. Jay won't get it. Keeps it in front. Makes a good play to keep it in front, too.
Yes, he did. That's a very tough sun field right now. And you can see he's battling the sun. But he also, makes a very nice play. He has been flawless in the field, made a very good defensive play last night. That was key to keep that a scoreless game. You see him battling the sun and uses his body a little bit to keep that ball in front of him and holds that ball to a single. That's a good job.
So base hit by Tabata. Brings in Neil Walker, who's hitting .305, 5 home runs, 26 RBIs. Neat look to the field tonight with number 24 in the dirt behind second base.
Walker, the Pittsburgh native, having a fine season. He's a switch hitter on the left side, a .318, and there you see the 24.
And that is a base hit. Trapped by Holiday. Leading it all the way was Tabata. He's safe at second base. And Tabata was the one that really changed up the complexion of the game last night. Cardinals could not get anything offensively going with Tabata's very good plays in left field.
And there's a nice play by Holiday. He'll try and sell that he caught the ball, but no one was buying it. And Tony La Russa made the point that that was a very good defensive ball game and signaled out Tabata for the fine plays and how he changed or kept the Cardinals off the scoreboard.
So now you get Garrett Jones. Jones is hitting 14 home runs this year, 277 on the year, 61 RBIs. Pitch in the dirt, runners stay put.
Good block by Molina. That's a tough play, off-speed pitch right at the feet of a left-handed batter. So that off-speed pitch, and it's coming in one way, it hits the dirt and breaks the other way.
Well, we hope to visit with the newest member of the Hall of Fame, Whitey Herzog, at some point tonight in our telecast. Jones 1 for 3 last night. 1-0 pitch. Now, what do we know about Jake Westbrook? What are we going to see, as you mentioned, a sinker baller on Monday?
Well, he's had a lot of elbow issues of late. He had Tommy John surgery, virtually missed all of last season, and that's been plaguing him for about 3 years. He has come back. He is a sinker ball pitcher. He is really a Dave Duncan type pitcher.
Popped up. Who wants it? Dropped by Molina. They do have a play, though, at third. He'll go to second for the out. That is the second time we have seen that. And they're going to say that he is safe. They're going to say the runner at second is safe. And the umpires, I'm sure, will come through here on this. Is it an infield fly?
Yes, that's the infield fly rule is called. And that double play, you run under your own risk.
Yeah, double play on this.
Yeah, the Pirates can argue because it really was miscommunication.
John Russell will get the explanation. Suppan and the Cardinals out of a jam. An infield fly.
Yes, and so on an infield fly, the batter is out. Runners can advance, but at their own risk.
So it's 2 unassisted. And let's take a look at the second base umpire. Right. He does motion.
Right. And
so the runner then advances at their own risk.
Right. And look at it. You can see him slow down here. But it's
so he's safe initially, and now he's going to be tagged out.
Well, he just gave the out signal. Put the hand like this, but it sure wasn't very convincingly.
I thought he initially called him safe, and then once he left the bag, he was tagged out. Do you remember earlier this year, back on May 7th, this was at third base, I believe.
Yes, it was. Trevor Miller gets the guy picked off. They gave him in a rundown. The runner at third comes all the way back. Then, watch, McCutcheon is out because the base belongs to Andy LaRoche, but when LaRoche stepped off, Molina tagged him, completing a double play. Now, Molina's, we all were praising him. We said, what a heads-up play, and then he told our Jim Hayes, he goes, yeah, that happened to me. That's how I knew the play. But whoever was at the third base bag, that is their bag. And so when they ran LaRoche all the way back, and then, McCutcheon is out because he's not entitled to that bag, then LaRoche stepped off, and they tagged him out back in that play in May.
So here is Felipe Lopez. I thought for sure the second base umpire initially called him safe because then the force is not in play. So he's advancing at his own risk, and in doing so, he has to stay on the bag. Once he leaves the bag and tagged out, that's when he was out. So the runner that was at first that went to second was confused, thinking it could have been a force.
It was obviously the runner did not know what was going on because he didn't even run hard there. He just conceded that he was going to be out.
2 balls and no strikes, and this is Felipe Lopez. Bottom line, though, that ball's got to be caught. We've seen that now.
We're glad it wasn't.
Twice in the last week with a ball like that. The mix-up on the infield, and Lopez is retired.
It is a much easier play for the third baseman coming in.
No doubt.
Daniel McCutcheon was called up today from AAA. These are his numbers earlier in the season with a very high ERA. 7 appearances, 6 strikes. Now, they say he pitches much like last night's starter, and we hope with much worse results, as Karsten went 6 shutout innings.
Here is John Jay. 1 out, nobody on. Another chance here at second base, and Walker puts him away. Let's take a look here. So infield fly is called, which means the batter is out, regardless if this is caught. It's not caught. Runner advances at his own risk. Initially, no force play. Now he's off the bag.
No, he's still calling safe. The second base umpire doesn't know what he's doing.
Are you confused?
Yeah, just like the second base umpire. Now he realized he made a mistake. They're going to get together and talk about it. They ultimately got the play right, but they confused the base runner in the process. So now he's claiming that the runner runs at his own risk, but I'm not sure he tagged him out when he wasn't on the bag.
Exactly.
Thought he got back. Right fielder cannot see the ball, but it's out of play.
Yeah, these 6 o'clock starts can be a little tough on the first baseman and right fielders. Later in the summer, it's very tough on the right fielder. Lopez, Jay, and Pools here in the first, and then Holiday, Rasmus, Molina, Schumacher, Suppan, and Brendan Ryan. Goodness.
Well, Whitey was the first one that said it's a good thing these umpires only have 2 choices.
So let's meet the defense of the Pittsburgh Pirates. Tabata, McCutcheon, and Millage in the outfield. This is brought to you by Dobbs, Alvarez, Cedeno, Walker, and Jones. And the battery is Daniel McCutcheon and Eric Kretz. Packed house tonight. Honor of Whitey Herzog. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Slowly hit to short. Cedeno gloves and makes the play. We visit with Whitey Herzog when we come back. 16,000 in attendance at Busch Stadium, and they're here to see the newest member of baseball's Hall of Fame, and that's Whitey Herzog. White Rat, congratulations. What a few weeks it's been for you.
Yeah, Danny, it's really been pretty hectic, and it's really been pretty hectic since December. You know, I'm kind of glad everything's toning down a little bit. I can get back to living a normal life maybe in the next month or so. But, tonight I tried to express myself a little bit because I didn't want to think going into Cooperstown wasn't big. But I'll tell you honestly, I feel just as good about my number being retired because, first of all, the fans here have been so good to me. And it is in a day, it's been 20 years since I lost the game, but it's been 20 years since I won one also, So, and they still remember me, and they see me in the gas station, in the grocery store, in the bank, and they all shake my hand and thank me for 10 years of exciting ball, and it makes me feel pretty good. But to get your number retired here in front of your family and your fans, and, I grew up across the river, and there's a lot of people here. But now they come to the ballpark, and they'll always see my number up there with all the rest of the great Cardinals, and that means an awful lot to me.
Whitey, you started by saying, and I think everybody wanted to hear you. They want to hear you talk, and you said, well, we got a ball game going on here tonight.
Yeah.
So you can express yourself as long as you want to stay up here and let's talk.
Okay.
So what has this meant to you and your family to have your number retired here tonight?
Well, Mr. DeWitt told me last Friday up in Cooperstown, and I didn't know it at that time, and it really hit me pretty good. I kind of broke up a little bit. I was prepared tonight, to thank him again and thank the Cardinal organization, but to see all my players that come in, some of them came a long way. And,
15.
Yeah. And John Tudor come in. He said he decided yesterday that he was coming in, and then Tom Lawless came from California. And, even in Cooperstown, I had a grandson come from Okinawa. And that's a long way. He's in the Marines over there, and he come in for the induction. It means an awful lot. But I think when a manager, I'm sure everybody feels the same way, but when you see 16 of your 85 guys here tonight, and that means an awful lot to me.
Of course, I had a chance to play for Whitey in Kansas City before his days, and then was broadcaster days here, but it was a pleasure. Not only were you the best manager I ever played for, but you were a great teacher to young men. And you made things very simple, but you taught us a lot of life skills.
Well, I can look back. I stepped into a wonderful opportunity in Kansas City with a lot of good young ball players. George Brett was 21 years old, and George didn't need a manager. George needed a father, and I had to teach him a lot about life and how to live off the field, and he thanks me for that all the time. And but that was part of it, and I always thought that my wife had to do a good job. If one of the wives on the ball club had a problem, she wanted them to come to her, and we could help and so forth. And I think the relationship with my players is such they could trust me and they could trust her. They know we were going to be honest with them, and I think that means an awful lot.
And I really do believe honesty is such a big part of it. Do you remember the incident that Joe Zeb, Clint Hurdle, and Brett and I, spring training, got a little golfing deal, and then the next day you call us. Of course, we all think we're invisible, but you call us in and say, all right, I already know about the golf course. You already tore it up and everything, but I want to know right now, will Clint Hurdle lie to me? Because he just called and said he was been injured in a car, or that he was involved in a car accident. And I want to know if did he get hurt? And we all said, no, he didn't get hurt. And he did show up, and he said he was legitimately calling to say he'd be a little bit late. But you said right then, you go, I want to know if a ball player is going to lie to me, because that was equally important to you,
right?
As to ball players having honesty from a manager.
Yeah, and I can remember that morning, and Mr. Joe Burke, my general manager, man, he was all worried about and everything. And we got it straightened out in the clubhouse, and that was the end of it. But that's when I told Brett, and I think I told you too, as long as I'm the manager of the Kansas City Royals, you'll be on every road trip from now on. And I was hunting with Brett the day before I got fired, and he said, what do you think is going to happen tomorrow morning? I had a 10 o'clock meeting. I said, well, they're going to fire me tomorrow morning. I said, I'll meet you at Meadowbrook at noon, and we'll play golf. And he said, well, I'm glad you're getting fired. I won't have to make all the road trips now.
American League West Division titles. Over 1,200 wins in 18 years as a manager for Whitey Herzog, but there's so much more that you did in the game of baseball. I'm curious, though, when you look back to 85 and the blown call and your team may have won the World Series, that probably would have gotten you in the Hall of Fame earlier. So my question would be, did you think, had you missed out on an opportunity if, the Hall doesn't call it?
Well, I often thought that if I'd have had the second World Championship, I might have got in earlier. But there was about 9 years there where they had to have 75% of the living Hall of Famers when there was no chance any of us going to get in. So I was kind of due to go in. I think Sparky went in 2003, and Dick Williams was supposed to go. No, Sparky went in 2000, and it was every 3 years, and Dick was supposed to go in 2003, and Bob Reagan, Stan told me I was supposed to go in 2006. So maybe I got 4 years less, but there was a time that Dick and I, when he didn't get in 3, we split that vote. And most of ball players, the people would only vote for one manager. So when I seen 2 years ago that Dick got 13 votes and I got 11, and Hummel thought sure I had 12 that I was in, that I kind of figured I'd get in this time. Yeah. And, that's just the kind of way it works, But, like I said, any time's a good time. And I'm grateful for it. I'm happy I'm on this side of the grass. I'm still healthy. I think I still got my senses and everything, and I'm able to accept everything. And I'm the happiest guy in the world.
That's great. Except you're not fishing.
No, I tell you.
Get back to that.
And my flight wouldn't have been 7.5 hours late on Wednesday. I was going to fish in Cooperstown on Thursday, and I had to do a lot of the press stuff and everything on Thursday, so I didn't get to fish. But fishing's bad right now. The hot weather, the water's 85 degrees. It's not any good.
So when you look back at your speech last weekend, did you think, well, I went too long, went too short? How do you look at it?
Well, they told me 10 minutes, and then I talked to Joe Morgan, I talked to Ozzie, I talked to Bruce, and they said, hey, it's once in a lifetime. Take what you want. And my speech was really going to be about 17 minutes. And we had a couple long-winded guys up there, and we were running about 35, 40 minutes late, and it was raining, and then it cleared up, and the wind was blowing, the clouds were moving. I knew Andre had to go on yet. And I don't like rain delays. That was part of my trouble with Doug Harvey. So I said, I'm going to cut this back a little bit. And I had about 4 or 5 guys I did want to mention, mainly Joe McDonald, Bing Devine, Hank Peters, Rick Hummel, guys that I wanted to thank for helping me get to the Hall of Fame. And I tried to talk to each and every one. I told Rick, and I talked to Joe. Of course, I can't talk to Bing and so forth. But the big thing is, when you start trying to remember everybody, then if you miss one guy, all of a sudden you're in trouble. You heard somebody. So maybe I'm better off that I cut it back to about 12 minutes. Everybody said, what a great speech. And that was long enough.
What was the best part of the weekend for you? It's a tough question.
Well, basically, yeah. The good part of the weekend that all my grandkids come in. And I had one in the Marine Corps come in from Okinawa. I had my grandson playing for Gary Templeton in California. Gary let him come in.
Is that right? Wait a minute, your grandson plays for Gary Templeton?
Yeah, out in Chichi, California, and he let him come in.
How ironic.
I told him when he signed to play with Gary, I said, don't tell him who you are. He'll send you home tomorrow. But he's been
He'll yank you off the field.
They've had a good relationship. He's been fine, and I had one come in from Dallas. So they all got there, and that was nice that all my grandsons thought enough of their grandpa to come in.
Danny kind of touched on it, but Whitey, you've been in every aspect of baseball, and many people would have thought of you deserved it as a manager, but really an all-encompassing position, maybe something like a George Kissel, because you've been a general manager, you've ran a farm system, you've been a great field manager, you were a player, you were a great scout, every aspect of this game. And how much has this game changed in your mind?
Well, of course, I got to manage 1 year without the free agent draft, and I was able to go out and sign 12 ball players from Charlie Finley for $125,000 total, and 7 of them got on the 40-man roster. So I think then people thought I might be, I might know what I'm looking for. Because at that time, there was a lot of scouts that would turn down Babe Ruth if they saw him, like Sandy Koufax. They'd never sign anybody. And that was when, before the free agent draft, you had to get in with the family. You got to know the mother and father, and you had to get the last chance, to sign somebody. And I was able to do that. I enjoyed that part of it. And then, of course, You know, the year that I enjoyed the most in baseball, and I've had some wonderful years. My 10 years here is the best, believe me. But 1966, when I coached third base for the Mets, and Yogi coached first base, I really enjoyed that year. I went out to eat with Yogi every night, and the New York press kind of took a liking to me and started mentioning my name when manager. I think they're the reason I really ever got a chance to manage. They were very good to me, and I enjoyed coaching third base. I really did. Now, in the Mets, we didn't see it. I would go 2 weeks not see some of them guys. You know, they'd get to third base. I'd have to shake hands and introduce myself.
And you really had
some bad teams, huh?
Not only your coaching experience with Charlie Finley, but you coached with him, you scouted with him. How about there was that one Alabama kid that Charlie wouldn't give you the money to sign?
Yeah, I'll be honest about it. I had spent some money, and we had signed Skippy Lockwood, Vida Blue Moon Odom, those kind of people, and Joe Rudy, John Sanders from up in Nebraska, and Charlie stopped giving out the bonuses. And I had Sutton in the room. I liked Sutton from the Basin League, and I saw him pitch in Wichita. And Don was the guy that said it. I didn't say it, but I had him signed for $16,000. They can't see that. So anyway, I had him in the room. I had him signed for $16,000 and 4 semesters of college. He's ready to sign. He's 21. I talked to Hank Peters. He said, Charlie will not give anybody over $10,000. I said, this guy's better than Catfish. He's better than Skippy. He's better than all of them. No, he won't. I said, can I talk to Charlie? So Hank gave me permission to talk to Charlie Finley. And Charlie was after nicknames. He wanted the Catfishes. He wanted Vida Blue. He wanted all these guys. And I said to Sutton, don't you have a nickname? If you had a nickname, you might give me the extra $6,000. But he didn't give it to me. And I walked out of the room in the Broadview Hotel, and I saw Burt Wells, who was a Dodger scout and a good friend. I said, you can sign him for $16,000. If I was you, I'd call Campanas and I'd get the money and sign him. It took them 2 weeks to get the money, and they signed. So Sutton goes out and he wins 25 and loses 7 in the minor leagues, and I'm coaching third base for the Mets. And he told the New York press what had happened. And you know, Charlie Finley denied he turned me down that money.
Is that right?
Yeah, he denied that he turned me down. So I'd have had Sutton in the group.
How about, did you have to ride in an elevator with one of Charlie's friends?
Well, Charlie would put that mule on it. He'd take that mule all over the thing. And at the Sheraton Cadillac, we had an escalator going up from the lobby to the desk, the reception desk. And Charlie's trying to put that mule on there. That was a beautiful mule, you know. And every time the mule got on it would slip. It wouldn't take the weight and so forth. So we had to get on the express elevator, you know. And that elevator didn't on. And then we get up to the reception desk. Here's the mule. And then Charlie wants the mule to sign in. Oh, my God. I mean, you talk about a menagerie. I mean, one morning he wanted me to have breakfast with the mule. The coaches had breakfast with the mule.
With the mule.
At the Continental Hotel. And I refused to do it. Man, he got mad at me. And I said, Charlie, I can't stand watching that slime and everything coming out of that mule that he's eating with straw and everything. I said, I just can't eat with that mule. He got mad at me, man. He was really, I thought he was going to fire me over. I mean, now you talk about a menagerie. That was a menagerie. I remember one night we're hanging out green bats, green and gold rabbit's feet out in front of the hotel in Detroit. And we had 7 or 8 bonus kids that we had. Skippy Lockwood, 18-year-olds, and Charlie didn't know. And Skippy took a couple bats he was handing out to the fans, and Charlie thought he was stealing them. He started raising hell with Skippy Lockwood. It was the funniest thing. I said, Charlie, he's one of our players. Oh, I'm sorry. One day we're giving the stuff away at the Americana Hotel. We got a doubleheader with the Yankees, and we're still out on the street in front of the Americana. I said, we got a doubleheader, starts in 15 minutes. He said, that don't make any difference. Hell with the ball game. So I took the starting pitcher and catcher out to Yankee Stadium on the subway and had them warmed up so when the team got there, we were able to play.
Ready to go.
That's how important baseball was.
How neat is it for you, Whitey, to see all your former players come back tonight?
Yeah, that's very gratifying, Dan. I mean, that these guys show up, and I know it's the 85 weekend, but some of the guys that came in, it's very special.
For you.
Yeah,
you know that.
I know that, and it's very special.
Some of them are coaching, too.
Yeah, you know, Coxey's with Tommy Hearn Lancaster, and Tommy let him go because Tommy's managed the club. And then Suter, he didn't know he showed up. That surprised me. And, you know, we got a lot of guys that played for us, and we got a lot of guys that live here.
Supine with a base hit into right, and it's 1-0 Cardinals. Jeff Supine helping his cause here.
Yep. Baseball's a funny game now. If that right fielder don't lose that, could see that ball, it's a no-run inning. It might turn out to be the ball game.
Now, we should tell the folks at home, Whitey doesn't miss anything. He's up there explaining us what's going on with the infield fly roll and how that was messed up.
He was in the elevator.
You're right.
Yeah. So, anyway, you know, I don't know, but I like this kid here. I know he's a hyper kid and everything.
Brendan Ryan.
But the way he played last year, defensively, it was made a believer out of me. And
how do you like this team overall, Whitey?
I like it. And when they get the third baseman back, and I know they traded Ludwig, Jay's going to be a great ball player. He's going to be fine. They still got the best lineup. They're going to win the division. Cincinnati's better than I thought they were going to be because they've had a lot of good luck with a lot of young pitching. And to them to be in the race at this time really surprises me. And maybe the Cardinals haven't played as well as I thought they played because their offense has not been consistent. But I think when they get everything going to line up, that they'll get another 8-10 game winning streak. And I think you got to remember, Cincinnati hasn't been in the pennant race a long time. That's right. And when those kids wake up and see that paper in the middle of August on, they're not going to play as well. That's just the way it is the first time you go through it. Al knows it, I know it, and I'm anxious to see. But I will give them credit. And when you look at their first baseman and a couple of players, and Roland's having a heck of a year, they've really done a heck of a job.
You don't miss many Cardinal games, do you? I mean, you either watch on TV
I watch them all
here.
now. I was kind of worn out last night, and I was going to watch a game, and by the time it started, I fell asleep. I woke up about 1:30. I didn't know what happened, and nothing. But I got a little one of those scorecards. I can get all the Major League games. And,
yeah.
And I turned that on, so I know what happened.
It's a double play, and that ends the inning. But what a pleasure and a thrill for us. And on behalf of all the fan base, Whitey, congratulations on everything.
Oh, Dan, I always appreciate everything you guys say about me. I get a kick out of Al's stories, but we did have some good times. I remember one day in Kansas City, he's pitching for me. He went back and he tried to throw that ball in his glove, which is 6 inches away. And he missed the glove, and I went out and took him out. I said, if you can't hit that glove 6 inches away, I know you can't throw a strike, so get out of here.
Hey, don't throw it down the middle.
Thanks, Whitey. We appreciate it. The White Rat, number 24, into Baseball's Hall of Fame. Career against the Buccos. He's 14-3, ERA of 4.35. They hit 262 against him, but run support, big factor there with better than 7.3. So that's our Toyota keys to the game. What a thrill for us. Whitey Herzog, congratulations to the White Rat.
He's outstanding and long overdue. He's a great ambassador of the game, and you can tell how much the fans remember. He was the first to really get this fan base energized with Whitey ball and start doing the record attendance.
Breaking ball and a strike. Another breaking ball, and that's in the dirt. This is Kratz, the catcher, 8th place hitter. He's batting 133 on the year. And we'll see McCutchen back-to-back. Daniel McCutchen, then Andrew McCutchen. Top of the lineup for Pittsburgh. Also says a lot, Al, that you've got guys that are coaching, as you said, and to have those players come back in the middle of their seasons and be here for a very special night for Whitey Herzog.
Yeah, I mean, everybody that played for him really enjoyed their time. I mean, he was just a fatherly figure to many of us, and just just a wonderful friend.
There's Daniel McCutchen. Suppan working a little quicker here tonight and throwing more strikes. 22 strikes to 11 balls thus far. He has not gotten that call.
Well, that's one of the things that they try to do is, Jeff, you need to work quicker. You're going to be so dependent on your defense. Help them out by working quicker. And, of course, fewer base runner helps do that, too.
2 outs, and a look at our U.S. Cellular text poll here tonight. What do you think of the trade? Like it? Don't like it? The jury's still out. Text trade ABC or 432-432. ABC to 432-432.
I think one aspect, too, it seems like with some of the other trades that are made, it was extremely high price. But John Mozeliak also mentioned that they felt like after giving up some of their top prospects last year and with the abundance of young outfielders, they were in a position to where they wanted to protect some of that minor league and prospects, and so we're not afraid to relinquish some major league talent. But they sent Ludwig to a very good place, San Diego.
Hey, how about Whitey's grandson playing for Gary Templeton? I had no idea.
That stunned you, yeah. Do you think everybody carries grudges forever?
The man to my right occasionally does. But that's not Tim Garcia.
I'm the exception, Dan.
1-2. You're still upset that guys have got hits off you, or
that's right.
I mean, that still gets you fired up.
You know what? When I face him in an old timers game, look out.
Can you get it to the plate?
No.
Your arm hurts. You were throwing BP as recently as what, 5 years ago?
It's
been a while.
Been a while.
2-2 into center field. And
it's not the arm, it's the back.
The back, not the arm. All right. Don't forget the Fan of the Game photo contest. You can head to foxsportsmidwest.com to upload a photo of fans in Cardinals gear, and you can win a woodworking toolkit from St. Charles Hardwoods. Enter now at foxsportsmidwest.com. Base hit for McCutchen. This is when Suppan really slows it down when runners get on.
That's something that, naturally you become more cerebral. You know your pitches have to be a little sharper, but you still can quicken that pace. And of course, he's smart enough to know that there's going to be an impact for this trade on that starting rotation. So there's also something that Jake Westwood is a free agent to be. Westbrook.
He's 32. He's had surgery and a free agent to be. Pitch out. 2 balls, no strikes.
By the way, thinking of that pitch out, yesterday when Brendan Ryan eventually hit the ball the right side, all 3 pitches were supposed to be pitch outs that he saw. He saw one, he hit a pitch out, and their intentions were that they were going to get the bases loaded and then pitch to Schumacher with the left hand. But the veteran left-handed pitcher didn't recognize the pitch out.
Ricky Ankiel was traded today. He went to Atlanta.
Yep. With Farnsworth.
2 balls, no strikes. See if McCutchen wants to run. He's leaning, not going, and the pitch is a base hit into right field. So back-to-back singles. Tabata is 2 for 2. And it brings in Walker, switch hitter.
Lean is set up away, hits that spot down and away, and just a good piece of hitting. Pirates showing some respect to John Jay's throwing arm. He has 4 assists, that's second among National League rookies.
And this is up and away. But with Tim McClellan, he is a nightmare for guys like me because he'll stand up and then call it a strike.
Very deliberate, slow. And he's caught many a play-by-play minute.
So that was a strike, Al. My mistake. It's a foul ball. He's been doing it a long time, Tim McClellan.
I was talking with Joe Kerrigan, pitching coach for the Pirates, about Jake Westbrook, and he's described him as a guy with good control, ground ball pitcher, you know, a Cardinal pitcher, and he said you have to get 3 hits to score a run.
We shall see. 2 months of them. Get on the ground to second. Schumacher to Pujols. Pirates have stranded 3 so far. Top of the lineup coming up. Enjoying the game. Budweiser, it's what we do. Cubs had a busy day today. They have traded Ted Lilly and Ryan Theriot to the Dodgers for Blake DeWitt and a couple of pitching prospects. Lilly just 3-8 this year. but he has the second worst run support of any starting pitcher in the big leagues. Cubs also sending $2.5 million to the Dodgers to cover part of the over $4 million left on Lilly's contract this year. That could be big too. That Terrio and Lilly.
Yeah.
You know, the Cardinals face them a bunch. Final 2 months. Not to have those two a part of that franchise anymore.
Lilly's always pitched well against the Cardinals.
You bet. It's official. The Yankees did get Lance Berkman. And they also acquired Kerry Wood from the Cleveland Indians. You could have Kerry Wood, Jabba Chamberlain, and then Mariano Rivera at the back end of games for the Yankees.
Right now, Jabba Chamberlain has kind of lost his 8th inning spot.
Mentioned that the Braves landed Rick Ankiel and Kyle Farnsworth. It's an outfield right now that currently has Jason Hayward in right, Melky Cabrera in center, Eric Hinsky in left. Nate McLeod, you might remember, was recently demoted. Rick Ankiel has only played in 27 games this year for Kansas City. 27. And he's hit .261 with 15 RBIs. Bobby Cox was talking about the trade. He said, well, you know, we know he hasn't played all that much, but when he's been in there, we like what we've seen, so they'll add him to the Braves. That's a foul ball.
Surprise you a little bit?
Very much so. You know, to me, anytime now you're dealing with Rick Ankiel, you got to worry about injury. You know, where does he fit in with that team?
Injury, but also, in my mind, he's very, very pitchable. He's been stubborn and has not adjusted to. You know, he's got a lot of holes in his swing.
It's spoiled. Tampa Bay bolstered their bullpen for the stretch run. They got setup man Chad Qualls from the Diamondbacks. Arizona is unloading. 3-2. Hit down the right field line and foul.
And they made a deal with the Pirates.
Arizona traded Chris Snyder and a minor league shortstop for Bobby Crosby, Ryan Church, and DJ Carrasco. Here's a 3-2 pitch. Instead, time call. Top of the lineup here for the Redbirds. We're in the third. Good Cardinal fan Owen George taking in baseball tonight. Good at bat by Lopez. Leadoff walk. Third walk for the Cardinals. Next half price night is Monday, August 3rd. Houston will be here, and fans can purchase terrace and pavilion reserved seats for half price. That means tickets as low as $10. $10. Half price night on Monday. Get your tickets right now at Cardinals.com. $10 seats still available for Monday night. But this crowd tonight, packed.
Yeah, it really is. It's like every place you're looking, standing room, every seat.
Here's John Jay. I would think the fans will vote in our text poll that they are not pleased with this trade. Ludwig was a fan favorite and a guy that really gave this middle of the lineup a lot of thump when you think about Holiday, Pujols, and Ludwig. Just my guess.
I gave my initial thoughts. I didn't care for it.
Well, then you get the rotation once healthy. No particular order of Wainwright, Carpenter, Garcia, Loesch, and Westbrook.
And Loesch pitching tonight for Memphis. Hopefully we'll get a good report on him.
1-0 pitch to John Jay instead of pickoff. Safe at first, Lopez.
Wow. Lucky he got back there.
Initially, I thought he was out.
Yeah, he was caught in no man's land. You see, his first move was to second, but he snuck in behind. They missed the tag.
Yeah, he just flat out missed the tag. The throw was there.
Jay has fallen all the way down to 393. He's 0 for his last 2. Remember, he was hitting 400 last night after his first 3 hits.
In the air out to left. Lopez will have to hurry up and get back to first. Just beat it in.
Too close.
Spotlight show coming up. Special page dedicated to Whitey Herzog. Hall of Fame coverage at FoxSportsMidwest.com. And then Tuesday at 6, Spotlight with Whitey.
Had Felipe with that ball right in front of him to left field. Why didn't he even go across the bag at second? They see goes past second base, but then a little friendly tap, and that's a camp flip thing.
One out runner at first. A step off and appeal, but clearly he's not out.
Yeah, he retraced his steps as he went past second base.
Well, Ludwig can look back at his time in St. Louis and in many ways say thank you to this organization and John Mozeliak as they gave him a chance.
And as John Mozeliak said too, he's not only trading a productive player but a friend. He sent him to a pretty good place. You know, his Ludwig brother Eric was traded 13 years to the day.
That was for McGuire, right?
For McGuire. His brother was a pitcher and was part of the McGuire trade. 13 years ago to the day, both Ludwig brothers have been traded away by the Cardinals.
1 ball, 1 strike. And he goes to a team that is 60-41, 2.5 games in front in the National League West. We know about their pitching, but now they've added Ludwig, Tejada. You've got Gonzalez in the middle of that lineup.
Oh, he's going to go there and be a fan favorite right away.
David Eckstein, of course, on that team, one of their leaders. Out is Lopez at first.
Boy, how many times have Cardinals seen guys lose on the base? And he just dove right in with his right hand and got stuck and never reached the bag. So with that time, it looked like you have no problem getting back to the bag, and just got stuck on his way back to first. Cardinals have lost about 80 base runners this season.
This is slicing, right center, base hit. Pujols is 1 for 2. Traveling this season, take the Cardinals with you. Subscribe to MLB.tv today. And you can see every Cardinals game live or on demand on your computer. Visit Cardinals.com for details. Local and market blackouts will apply. MLB.tv. Baseball is everywhere.
Follow through. Just the balance. Just everything coming together. We'll still have to kind of watch to see if he is in a little more of a squat. A little lower in his stance.
Runner at first, 2 out. 1-0 Redbirds on a base hit by Jeff Suppan with the bases loaded in the bottom of the second.
Holliday's hit in 14 of the last 15 games. Had the 13-game hitting streak stopped in New York and then picked it back up last night.
Are you surprised that Derek Lee rejected a trade to go to Anaheim?
Yes, I am. You know,
you're on a team that's going nowhere and you got a chance to be in a pennant race.
Good situation. Get cited family reasons. Been in Chicago for quite a while, but the way I always look at it is trying to trade me. Maybe I've overstayed my welcome and I'm going to a club that wants me. One doesn't want me as much and the other one does.
The other thing too, it energizes the individual as well, and he's a free agent to be. Have a strong run in that final 2 months.
Yeah. It's amazing how you can be labeled in this game, but you know, Derek Lee, by all accounts, is a very good guy. But many times when you're turned down a trade like that, they think you're selfish. He just throws this ball right by him.
I agree. There are labels, but he'd be the one guy I wouldn't think.
Well, that's what I'm saying. But
yeah.
But you know, why allow a negative to be put on your resume?
Cincinnati, by the way, won today, 5-2. Ryan Hannigan fueled the Reds' 4-run 7th in that game. Boston over Detroit 5-4. San Francisco beat the Dodgers 2-1, and Cleveland up into Toronto 2-1. 2 balls, 2 strikes, with 2 outs and a runner at first. Holiday in the air to center, and the Cardinals have stranded 3. Head to the 4th, and it's 1-0.
Faced, I take it extremely serious, and I think the tough part is leaving the fans here. I understand why people say this is baseball heaven, best fans in baseball. It's I know sometimes people would get on me for personality issues, but when I get to the ballpark, I'm pretty game-faced. I take it extremely serious, and I think the tough part is leaving the fans here. I understand why people say this is baseball heaven, best fans in baseball. It's 100% true.
So Ryan Ludwig, now a member of the San Diego Padres, that was this morning as he left Busch Stadium.
I mean, Whitey and Ludwig, two pretty good salutes to the fans.
The Fortells watching tonight, taking in Cardinal baseball.
Donna Larson gets a big hello and a get well soon from her mother-in-law.
Garrett Jones 0 for 1. Little bouncer that's foul. Good pitch by Suppan. 3 strikeouts tonight. August 20th, the Cardinals take on the Giants, and you can collect a 2010 Cardinals 3x5 foot banner to show your love of the team. 25,000 fans receive the Cardinals banner. It's courtesy of Coca-Cola Zero and Walmart.
A couple surprises that were not traded. Adam Dunn won. Prince Fielder or Corey Hart.
I didn't think Fielder, but I did think Hart might. And that's taken low. Pedro Alvarez. 2 balls and no strikes. Very nice picture of you, Al, sent in by one of our fans. 2-0 to Alvarez. Change up that time. Soup looks pretty sharp tonight.
Yeah, he does. You know, and I think, one, you really felt like just something magical would happen because he's facing the Pirates. He's 14-3 against them. He has to show an urgency now that the Cardinals acquire another starter. He has to show that he belongs to stay in that rotation. So there was a lot of good karma going for Soup tonight.
A 3-1 pitch. Another changeup.
And one of the things that Tony said, he goes about acquiring another starter. He goes, I really don't want to talk too much. I don't want to talk bad about Suppan or Hawksworth. And there's that good changeup down low, good location. But he said with better run support, they'd have a few wins.
Another changeup and another strikeout.
Well, young hitters, they get to the big leagues because they hit fastball. So if you can throw some off-speed pitches and keep them in good locations, that is a good neutralizer. And Alvarez is struggling of late. He's 1 for his last 22.
Check swing and a strike. Now if you're management team of Milwaukee, pressure is on you to try to get Fielder signed. Well, this is when you have the most power at the trade deadline with the stretch run here and another year. He's got 1 more year, so we'll see if they can go to Scott Boras and try to work out a deal, his agent. If not, that's a big bat that could be on the market.
There's only so many big market teams that can afford it, too.
So winning records with both St. Louis and Pittsburgh. Suppan, Tudor, Riles, Haddix, Grimes, and Hawley. Pink Hawley.
That was your favorite pitcher.
Sure. And Soup strikes out the side. 5 tonight. with a double in the bottom of the ninth. Vince Coleman drives in Jose Oquendo to help beat the Pirates 4-3 in walk-off fashion. 1987 for the championship year for the Redbirds. There's Colby Rasmus.
Did you hear Vince Coleman giving a running scouting report on Oquendo?
I did not, no.
He was talking about Oquendo just, as if he was carrying a piano that he always wanted to steal, and they just laugh at him. And
when did he make these statements?
In the pregame show, I think it was.
I didn't see it.
And of course, Jim Hayes, took the night off.
3-0 the count.
He was saying that Oquendo couldn't run.
And McCutcheon draws the Cardinals draw their fourth walk.
There's some of the guys. See Tudor, see Vince. Like Joe Cunningham back there. I'm talking with Jim Herron, the Cardinal photographer for 30, 40 years.
Daniel McCutcheon, recalled for this start, came in with an ERA over 8. From Norman, Oklahoma, and he pitched at the University of Oklahoma. Drafted initially by the Yankees 13th round back in 2006. Yankees spend a lot of money, but boy, they come up with a lot of prospects. This was a deal that included Ross Ohlendorf, Jeff Karstens, and Jose Tabata in exchange for Xavier Nady and Damaso Marte.
Now, there's 4 guys from that trade that are here on this roster.
Right.
Big parts. Last night's starter, tonight's starter, left fielder, and the fourth one was?
Well, you got Ohlendorf.
So another starter. 3 starters and a starting left fielder.
Runner at first. No balls in a strike on Yadier Molina. 1-0 St. Louis and an RBI by Jeff Suppan in the second. Runner goes and safe at second. Colby Rasmus.
Cardinals were nailed 3 times last night by this catcher. And Colby picks up his 10th steal. Got a good jump, steals it off the pitcher. Throws sails a little bit, but Colby was on past the second baseman, so the tag was late.
Big gap in the left center for Yadier Molina.
So Kerrigan told me, the pitching coach of the Pirates, last night's ball game, he said he made a mistake. He went out and talked too soon to his pitcher. As he went out to talk to him with Molina coming up, and they thought that Molina was not going to bunt, that he was going to just shoot the ball to the right side, and they were going to walk the bases loaded and make Schumacher beat him. But the veteran left-hander, Lopez, misread it and threw the ball over the plate. Brendan Ryan hit the ball the right side.
Build-A-Bear Workshop Day coming up tomorrow. Still a few seats remaining at 1:15. Get here early to get your Build-A-Bear. Also a family Sunday with select tickets, free hot dog and Coke. Remember, kids tickets this year, $7 for any kids tickets for any game. First strikeout for McCutcheon. There's Skip Schumacher, who walked. Have you put your finger on it, Al, why this team has struggled so much on the road? They're 8 games below 500 on the road, 22-30. And here at home, the Cardinals' impressive record of 35-16.
Yeah, there's no reason in my mind, but it's kind of a trend of baseball this year that very few clubs are playing 500 or above on the road. But this is a ball club that that doesn't party, that gets its rest, that is very conscientious and professional. So it really just kind of defies logic. Missing two of your starters does have some impact, but many times it's just been lack of consistency with that offense.
1-1 pitch.
We'll see how things go, but John Mozeliak's belief is with Loesch coming back and Westbrook being added,
it's a good rotation.
You know, once that rotation kind of settles in, that the offense won't feel compelled to score as much.
Three and one.
Tabata playing very shallow in left field, and we saw him have that in yesterday's ball game, his ability to come in and make sliding catches.
And that's a walk to Skip Schumacher. You know, Al Westbrook was so eager to get in a playoff chase that he actually forfeited some of the trade protection in his contract. He was set to receive, and you and I were talking about this before the game, a $2 million bonus if he was dealt. And apparently that was a major roadblock in many of the trade talks surrounding him. So he agreed to have that bonus lowered. Details were not announced by how much, but it had to be approved by the Players Association, and it was.
There's a ball player that, you know, wants to go to, like you said, a winning environment.
There's Jeff Suppan, and again, runners in scoring position. Up and in.
First at bat, he shows bunt. Now he talks to Oquendo, and he said, drive in the run. So guess what he does? He drives in the only run of the game. Boy, since that trade, this offense really has started gelling. And it's gelled with the RBI by a pitcher.
One out, two on. It's now 5 walks issued by this right-hander. One ball, one strike. Pirates have been improving in this area, but not tonight with the 5 walks by McCutchen. No activity in their bullpen.
And Dan, on the flip side, you know, the Cardinals with 5 walks and only 1 strikeout, you know, that helps. They only have 3 hits, but the 5 walks gives them 8 base runners and a couple on here with just 1 out.
Suppan, little bouncer to first. They were playing in, and a misplay at second, and a run will score to make it 2-0 St. Louis. 2 players converging on second base. The throw is there. Confusion was as well. 2-0 Redbirds.
Well, they were not going to get the double play because nobody covered first base. Schumacher started to run. Now he looks here. The throw hit Schumacher. That's what it was. Threw it into the runner. And then Schumacher just inadvertently kicked it away. That allowed Rasmus to score.
So it's one that the Pirates would love to have back. So it's E3 on the play, no RBI. 1 out, runners at first and second, and a 2-run lead.
Suppan helping his own cause, didn't he?
Put the ball in play twice here tonight, resulted in 2 runs. Brendan Ryan came up with the bases loaded and bounced into a 6-4-3 double play.
It was good to hear Whitey talk about Brendan Ryan.
Sure was.
Very favorably.
For fans that didn't hear it, he was very complimentary of him, especially what he did a year ago.
And the fact that he likes him, so good to see his name kind of floated around. It seems like he's played better since His name was heard in trade rumors, and he kind of recently has come to the realization that, hey, just forget about the first half. It was miserable. Just start picking up, start doing a better job, and build and make your season respectable with a good second half.
Pops it in the air. Center field. McCutcheon will make the catch. Runner stayed put. 2 away. Brings in Felipe Lopez. He's grounded out to second. He walked into third, then was picked off by the pitcher. Pretty big names have been on the move at this trade deadline with Ludwig, Kerry Wood, Lance Berkman, Roy Oswald, Cliff Lee. A lot of activity.
Talked with David Freese, and he will not leave to go. He has to pass another running test tomorrow, but hopeful to start his rehab on Monday with Memphis.
Cardinals have really missed him, not just his bat, but his defense.
Of course, been out for such an extended period of time. It's going to take him a while to get his timing back, but he could rejoin the ball club when we go back out on the road. And that'll be it's just like making a trade, getting a starter back.
In the air out to left. This will do it. Looking forward to seeing David Freese back with the big club. It's 2-0 after 4. Next Missouri getaway. This is Grants Farm, home of the world famous Budweiser Clydesdales. Grants Farm is the 281-acre home of the Bush family, located south of the city of St. Louis, operated by Anheuser-Busch, welcoming folks for more than 5 decades. Farm also offers free admission to all guests, including complimentary tram rides and shows. Find out more about Grants Farm at visitmo.com.
So got the elephant shows out there, a lot of other animals.
Suppan finishing up his warm-up tosses gives us a chance to look at our AT&T trivia question. Who had the most home runs for the Cardinals between 1980 and 1990? Hendrick with 89. Silent George. Clark 66. Darrell Porter 54. And Willie 2 back of that.
Miss George Hendrick.
First base coach with Tampa Bay.
Yep.
On the ground to Brendan Ryan. Makes the play. It's a 7, 8, 9 for Suppan to deal with here in this 5th inning. Silent George.
Silent George, but I mean, if a member of the media would go up to him and say, "Hey, how's your family? How's this? How or that?" And then I would get a little comfortable and say, try to talk baseball. And he goes, "No, don't you remember? We don't talk baseball." But he was always respectful. Felt like he got burned early in his career in Cleveland, or may have been the A's organization, and just made a commitment that he was not going to talk to the media, but he was always very civil. And you have to respect that.
1-1 the count. Suppan with 5 strikeouts, and he has set down the last 5 straight. And what has arguably been his best start so far this time around with the Cardinals. Schumacher got him.
Nice crossing pattern by Brendan Ryan as he flashed past him, and then Shu actually made that play on the shortstop side. With that strong throwing arm, he had plenty to spare.
2 outs, and the pitcher McCutcheon.
It's like Suit 5 years ago facing the Pirates. Of course, they're all different names, but same results.
Grounder that's foul. Batista was not moved. The home run hitter now this year for the Blue Jays. 31 home runs, Jose Batista.
I don't know if everybody believes.
It's amazing. 31.
And a career high of what, 16? We saw him hit 2 against the Cardinals in interleague play, but they were legit. One was a long blast.
2-2 pitch. Brendan Ryan could take his time with the pitcher running. And a 1-2-3 inning again for Jeff Suppan. John Jay, Albert Pujols, and Matt Holliday coming up.
And the way you had to do it, the way you had to get it was Ryan. And I know our fans have seen our offense struggle. but it was a tough call. Nice to have done it without Ryan, but we felt like we had some depth in the outfield that we can at least plug in and be competitive. But we were really worried about at least one spot in the rotation. So I'm excited about getting Jake on our team.
So St. Louis, Cleveland, and San Diego made the 3-team trade this afternoon, just hours before the deadline. And the Cardinals pick up a former All-Star and Jake Westbrook, cash from the Indians, and minor league left-handed pitcher Nick Greenwood from the Padres. Greenwood was 4-4 at Fort Wayne and will be assigned to the club's Quad Cities single-A team. We're in St. Louis, and the Redbirds have a lead of 2-0 as we move to the bottom of the 5th. John Jay came into the month of July. Ball game tonight hitting .456. Trailing only Danny Valencia, who's with Minnesota and a former teammate of his at the University of Miami. 1 ball, 1 strike. Tonight, Jay is 0 for 2. Pujols on deck, then we'll see Holiday. Gets down a bunt. Tough play here. McCutchen, and he makes it. Tough play, and he came up with it.
Pretty good athlete. Out of the University of Oklahoma, but played multiple sports, including running back and cornerback for his high school team, and ran track. And went on to be drafted out of the University of Oklahoma, where he ranked among the school's all-time leaders in strikeouts.
One out, nobody on. Here's Pujols.
Graduate of Norman, Oklahoma. Is that the same school that Holiday went to? Where's he from in Oklahoma?
Holiday's dad coached at Oklahoma State. Holiday.
Stillwater.
Yeah, that's in Stillwater. Norman is University of Oklahoma. Pujols 1 for 2 with a single back in the 3rd. Well hit. Right center. It will carry out of here. Home run for Albert Pujols. Number 24 just over the wall. Opposite field shot. RBI number 72. That sends a jolt to 43,000 plus. 3-0 St. Louis.
His 23rd home run Sunday, and here he gets a pitch right up over the middle of the plate and hits it out into right center. Just had enough, so it looks like it bounces into the shrubbery, into the first row. And now 24 home runs, 72 RBIs.
Here's our Hardy's prime cut of the game. Cardinals have just 4 hits but 3 runs. One of the runs they scored was without even a base hit in the inning. That was in the 4th. Holiday, fly ball out to center. Average is now dipped under 300. What's on tap? It's game 3 between Pittsburgh and St. Louis. Brought to you by Budweiser. Zach Duke, the lefty, 5-9 against Adam Wainwright, 14-6. See that game on Channel 5. And Wainwright right now second in the National League in wins with 14 and complete games. But it's what he's done at home. He has the best home record in all of Major League Baseball. He's 10-0 with a 1.22 ERA, which is first in the big leagues.
He's established a Major League record. I'm thinking it's 26 consecutive quality starts at home.
Pujols' home run measured at 406. One pitch. Hit sharply to second. And Walker makes the play. Albert Pujols connects on number 23 as he closes in on 400. for his big league career. We head to the 6th, and it's 3-0. Brought to you by Kia Motors. To learn more, visit kia.com. And by Taco Bell, open 2 a.m. or later. Gorgeous night for baseball. Baseball-rich city of St. Louis. Top of the 6th, and it's 3-0. Cardinals on top. Pujols with an RBI, as well as Jeff Suppan. Other run scored on an error.
How about Soup? 5 shutout innings, only allowed 4 hits.
Well, the Cardinals face Jeff Suppan. He's been with Arizona and Kansas City, Pittsburgh Pirates, Boston Red Sox, Milwaukee, and St. Louis. Get the feeling that this could be an important inning for him. Usually you look at that 6th inning for Soup, whether in his time before or even now with the Cardinals. He'll deal with the top of the lineup here. The pitch count has been very good. And watch the speed here, McCutchen. He can absolutely fly. And this will at least be a double. Holiday will get it back in. Jeff Suppan in the National League prior to coming to St. Louis with the Pittsburgh Pirates.
Quite a few of those games.
This is May of 2003. Soup against Fernando Vina. Lost the first game against the Cardinals. Second time he would win. That's Edmonds going the opposite way.
Hey, pitched a gem here. He didn't shut the Cardinals out. And then got traded.
Rafael Palmeiro there. He pitched in a rain-delayed game, and then, Orlando Palmeiro, and then was traded away to the Boston Red Sox.
Reyes is warming up for the Cardinals.
Jose Tabata, the left fielder.
He is 2 for 2. McCutchen has 2 hits, and Neil Walker on deck has 1. Soup has shut down everybody else.
And a ground ball hit to short. McCutchen advances to third, and now there's one out. His speed, that's an easy play.
Yeah, great speed like that. Knew the ball wasn't hit very hard, so he could scoot on over to third. Good jam shot right there, and you see that he was well in advance of that ground ball by the time Ryan fielded it.
One way or another, this may be the final inning for Suppan, who is due up third for the Redbirds in the bottom of this inning.
I think Tony La Russa and Dave Duncan will be thrilled as long as he gets through this inning, and they're not even going to wait.
So they will go to the bullpen, and Suppan pitches into the 6th inning, and Reyes will come in to face Walker, the switch hitter, and then you have Jones, who hits from the left side. Good outing for Jeff Suppan. With a runner at third and one out. 47th appearance for Reyes, the 32-year-old. And Jeff Suppan, nice outing tonight. So Reyes has allowed runs in 4 of his last 20 outings after allowing 1 run in his first 25 appearances.
But Dan, that's 4 out of 20 now. It's like 4 out of about 6 at one point. So he's settling back down. His last 5 appearances have all been scoreless. Good job by Suppan. Can't say enough about that.
Walker is 1 for 2. Good pitch. Sinking action by Reyes. Astros lead Milwaukee 6-0. That's in the bottom of the 7th. Washington over the Phillies 4-2, top of the 7th. Mets over the Diamondbacks, bottom of the 6th, 2-1. Mentioned that Cincinnati has won today. Popped out. Schumacher makes the catch. No place for McCutchen to go. Big out. Let's go pitch by pitch. Reyes to Walker.
Walker's switch hitter. Hits better from the left side. Fewer bats right-handed. Pitch off the plate. And he gets him swing at the off-speed pitch. Out away from him. Just pops it up.
And it brings in Garrett Jones, who has been quiet against the Cardinals this year. 176, no home runs. A guy that really bursted on the scene a year ago for the Pirates.
He's got tremendous power, so be careful with him. But you can see he's just Reyes makes his good pitches. He's a little overmatched.
Here's the 0-1.
You're right about him bursting on the scene with big power numbers. Jones did 21 home runs last year, but I mean, it was just in a couple months.
Second among rookies in on-base percentage last year, 5th in total bases. 1-2. And he was in the Twins organization and picked up last year by Pittsburgh. Here's a 1-2 pitch. 2-2.
That's a real effective pitch there, in the fact that, you know, his bread and butter pitch is a slider away. You run a pitch up under the chin, they don't dive across the plate, so you get them reaching for it, but he lays off it.
From 0-2 to a full count.
Boggs is warming up, so if this inning is extended, Boggs probably comes into it.
You do have a lefty on deck in Alvarez, so
that's right.
You'd have Millage that he's getting loose for probably.
Yes. Helps look at your scorecard, doesn't it? Inside fastball. Be careful.
Jones on the ground to Brendan Ryan. Makes the play. Good work by Dennis Reyes. Runner at third and only one out. Doesn't come in. 3-0 midway through 6. Place. Player interviews: Tony La Russa, Rick Horton, Pat Paris. U.S. Cellular Cardinals Live. On the night, 74 pitches, 48 were strikes for Jeff Supine. 43,000 plus, and Tommy, our director, will find a Cubs fan.
Well, that guy wants to be a Cardinal fan.
There's a line shot down the right field line. Fair ball. Touched by a fan, and a ground rule double for Molina. Another base hit to right field.
Take that left fielder and put him out in short right. He might be doing something. Inside out stroke. Shoots right into the stands. Ground rule double, and let's see the Cardinals, they can't get something going. Activity in the bullpen. Steven Jackson. I thought he was missing. Is he missing training camp?
Back surgery. You know a thing or two about that. That's the other Steven Jackson.
He's fine.
The other Steven Jackson.
Thought there was only one and only.
For Schumacher, at least you want to see him pull it to the right side to try to advance Molina. or bunts. Bunts it in the air, and that'll be a foul ball. On deck, the switch hitting Randy Wynn. Schumacher has walked twice tonight.
Worked last night as Cardinals got a double off the bench from Ludwig, the now departed Cardinal. And Molina sacrificed him over. Brendan Ryan hit a ball to the right side. And the Cardinals won 1-0. Extra innings.
Here's an 0-1 pitch to Skip.
And their left fielder playing in, but boy, he is really into way off the line. And we've seen Schumacher hit so many balls right out there that would elude that left fielder. Pretty good, but coming off the bat, it was sliced away from him.
Good point. He's very shallow.
Shallow, but I mean, look how far off the line he is. Where we see a lot of teams play Schumacher almost in left field, almost as a pull hitter, a pull right-handed hitter, as he has that ability to kind of just float a ball down over the third baseman's head. That's what I'm talking about, how far off the line the left fielder is. Cedeno really guarding, keeping Molina close at second.
And here comes a 2-1 pitch to Skip. Bunts it foul.
Cardinals have a 3-0 lead.
You rather see him try to pull the ball and maybe drive him in, or
that's what I was going to say. But then all of a sudden we start complaining about this team not manufacturing runs. So damned if you do, damned if you don't.
Yeah. As shallow as they're playing, it's going to be very tough to score Molina from second.
And now Tabata has moved a little closer to the third base line, the left fielder.
2-2 pitch.
Well, nobody out. You would think that they're not going to send him home. Millage is very deep and probably too deep in right field. See how the left fielder now has moved closer to the third base line.
And he pulls it to the right side.
That's what you want to do.
Very good out. See Tony La Russa clapping in the dugout. Productive out for Skip Schumacher. Cardinals camp out presented by Bass Pro Shops and Tracker Boats is back August 27th. Come spend a night on the field under the stars right here at Busch Stadium. For ticket information, call 345-9500, area code 314, or visit cardinals.com/campout.
Kerrigan out to talk to his young pitcher. And when you're just sacrificing there, you're giving yourself up. And you swing away in that situation, trying to pull the ball. Hopefully you can drive a base hit. At the very least, it's a productive out to advance the man. Rarely, but sometimes you saw as a home plate umpire, the crew chief, Tim McClellan, went out there to tell the pitching coach, Jared Kerrigan, to lead, and had a little bit of an extended conversation. I would wonder if it would be in the umpire's rights to say, okay, this is a second visit. You don't leave. If they stayed out there when you said, hey, let's go.
One out and a runner at third, infield in. Randy Wynn looks at a ball.
I'm sure you would be getting a argument.
You ever seen that?
No, but I would think that an umpire would say, "Hey, I will do that." If you refuse to leave.
Many times you'll see a pitching coach have a visit with his pitcher and wait till the umpire to come strolling on out there to give him a piece of his mind.
You don't see that too often, but in the old days you'd see a little more of it. He'd be staring right at his own pitcher and screaming to the umpire behind him.
Here's a 2-0 to win. Brendan Ryan on deck.
We really haven't had any disputed calls at the plate. No yelling from the dugout, I think, from either side. Infield in.
3-0 pitch. And a strike. What a huge crowd we have here tonight at Busch Stadium.
Perfect night. Beautiful weather. Cardinals have a lead.
And that's ball 4 to win.
Six walk allowed tonight.
Pitch count at 96. That will not keep you around in the big leagues. You're walking 6 every start.
No.
Can't do that.
Pretty hard to survive.
And with the 6 walks, still, it's only a 3-run lead, and the Cardinals have only stranded 5. That's because they only have 5 hits.
And 1 double play, he said. They got 1 run without the benefit of the hit and a solo home run. And the first run they scored, they had 2 walks and 2 hits in the inning.
So Brendan Ryan a chance to do some damage here with 1 out, runners at first and third.
And Suppan drove in the first run.
Outfield not very deep. Shade him a bit to the opposite field. Many times you'll see a pitcher do that just to see if the batter is showing something. Is he going to squeeze in this spot? Would he be showing bunt? Kendo flashing the signs. Then he started with a double by Molina. Down the right field line. Hopped over the seats, or into the seats over the wall. Then Schumacher grounded out to second, advancing Molina. Walk to the pinch hitter, Randy Wynn. And here's Brendan Ryan. Really good work out of Dennis Reyes to get the final 2 outs at the top of the 6th.
And Kyle McClellan has been warming up.
McCutcheon is really slowed down. Ryan pulls it foul. Average is 202 for Brendan. Runners scored 6 out of 11 times in this spot.
This was the scenario of last night's ball game. You see McClellan waiting for another out or so to tune up a little bit. Pirates looking for a double play to end the inning.
As we told you earlier, the back end of the bullpen is different tonight for Pittsburgh. In particular, Octavio Dotel. year after year. You know, this team is losing, and yet they deal. It doesn't seem like they have a lot to show for it. And Dotel is a late deadline deal.
Okay.
Went from Pittsburgh to the Dodgers. Dodgers sent reliever James McDonald and also outfield prospect Andrew Lambeau.
I told you that, but then I didn't see any confirmation on it until you found it there on the wire.
2-2 pitch to Brendan Ryan. Just threw the bat at it, still alive. Dodgers going all in, huh? We're going Lilly and Terrio, Dotel. They're 7 games back. Only 5 games above 500. Two pitch. Did it bat here by Brendan Ryan.
Got to do something to keep the divorce topic off the pages.
And the McCourts, that is front page news ownership group.
There's actually a website to learn all about their divorce proceedings. Thanks a lot.
Outfield is very shallow.
I mean, a minute ago, Millage was playing way too deep, and now they're all playing. Brendan Ryan could shock them.
3-2. And Ryan hits a fly ball out to deep left. Plenty deep to score. The runner from third, that's Yadier Molina to make it 4-0. RBI 21 for Brendan Ryan. This season, easier than ever to find the seats you want or sell tickets to the games you can't make on StubHub, the official fan-to-fan ticket marketplace of the Cardinals. You'll find great seats, great service on StubHub all season. Head to StubHub.com and choose your seats today. Double, ground out, walk, sac fly, now Lopez. Pitch number 104, instead of check on the runner at first, Randy Wynn. Jeff Suppan for the Cardinals, 74 pitches tonight, lifted in favor of Reyes, and 48 were strikes. He could pick up his first win of the year.
He pitched well enough.
Felipe tonight has grounded out to second, walked and then was picked off at first, and with 2 runners on at first and second in the fourth, he flied out to left. Suppan came into play tonight, 0-6 this year with an ERA over 6. 2 balls and no strikes. Two and one. Hit to the left side, base hit. Brings up John Jay, who's 0 for 3. Will that be it for McCutcheon?
A piece of hitting right there, and almost guiding the ball through the left side. Ball out away from him, just sort of a controlled swing. Cedeno, the shortstop, playing up the middle. Alvarez could not reach to his left, and John Russell has seen enough. In comes Steven Jackson.
our Chevy call to the pen. Steven Jackson coming in. Runners at first and second. John Jay due up when we come back. Don't like the trade. We'll see how it pans out in the final 2 months of this regular season. Cardinals will have runners at first and second and a 4-0 lead here in the bottom of the 6th. John Jay will be the hitter against the right-hander, Steven Jackson of the Pittsburgh Pirates. Now, one thing the Pirates have been doing coming into play starting last night in this series is scoring a bunch of runs. Well, they have not done that in Game 1. They're being shut out here in Game 2. And the Cardinals get into the bullpen of Pittsburgh. This will be the 4th appearance for Jackson. And the Redbirds have out hit Pittsburgh 6-5.
John Jay looking for his first hit, as you mentioned. A rare 0 for 3. He has been nothing but a hitting machine this year. Remember, he started out in Memphis with a 16-game hitting streak. Then he was the Cardinals minor league player of the month of April. Came up late April and has just been on a hitting tear for the Cardinals.
And Jay looks at a strike.
Steven Jackson, who Jay is facing, he's been up and down with the Bucks. This is his 3rd stint with him. And hitters are batting .389 against him, 7 for 18.
Out of South Carolina. Catches the corner. He's 6'5", big guy. Pitched at Clemson University, drafted by Tampa Bay all the way back in 2000.
He looks taller, doesn't he?
Second go around with the Pirates. Here's the 0-2. Cardinals have picked up 1 run in the 2nd, 1 in the 4th, 1 in the 5th, and 1 in the 6th. Pujols has a home run. He's on deck, and Albert is 24th home run of the year. Night when we honor Whitey Herzog, number 24, retired. One-two pitch. Jay fights it off. Foul. See a lot with that, with his swing, don't we?
Yes, we do. We see a lot of balls that inside-out strokes or just ball out of way and just drives to left field. Jay has 3 home runs and 12 RBIs, 12 doubles. So defense. They kind of playing more shallow in left field than any other fields. We would agree with that.
Jay is swinging a miss. He'll strike out. 0 for 4 tonight. Cardinals strand 2 runners. Pick up an RBI from Brendan Ryan, and it's 4-0 as we head to the 7th. Lewison, who was an observer of the pregame ceremony from the dugout, will take over. Talking with Kyle, he was anxiously awaiting this day and this weekend, having a chance to mingle with some of the players from the 80s. Pedro Alvarez looks at strike one. We're underway. 7th inning, 4-0 St. Louis.
I told you that if I were John Russell, I would have had every one of my players on that bench taking a look at some of the great players of the past and just this celebration here in St. Louis, and honoring the 85 team and a new Hall of Famer. Say, boys, this is what it's all about. This is where we're trying to get to.
And remember when
we didn't see anybody.
Tampa Bay came through and Stan the Man was honored, and there's a strikeout. Alvarez strikes out for the 3rd time, never swung the bat. And Mr. Madden, the manager of the Tampa Bay Rays, was just in awe of the situation and grew up a fan of the Cardinals and a fan of Stan the Man.
First time I met Joe Madden was he was a member of Mike Scioscia's Angels staff. And they told me at that time what a big Cardinal fan he was. And so I made a point to talk to him when he came in with the Tampa Bay. And he was just so hopeful that he was going to get a chance to meet Stan. And he was soaking up all that treasure.
Good breaking ball.
Oh, yeah.
0-2.
Got that good one working. Boy, he has been so good here at home. 3 very solid seasons from McClellan. But that swing.
So quickly, 2 outs via the strikeout.
He's only allowed 1 run. That came a home run against Philadelphia. Only 1 run at home he's allowed this year. And good breaking ball and just a weak hack.
Brings in Cedeno, nobody on at 2 outs. Ground ball. Good play by Brendan Ryan. McClellan, 1-2-3 with a little help from the shortstop. Time to stretch. Sweepstakes. If the Cardinals hit a home run, Paulette Williams will qualify for the Hyundai Sonata drawing in September. To register, visit a St. Louis area Hyundai dealer. Pujols is homer tonight. Jackson got the final out in the 6th. It'll be Pujols, Holiday, and Colby Rasmus. Bullpen has done a terrific job so far by the Cardinals, ending at 2/3 of scoreless baseball.
And lately, the Pirates bullpen has been performing well.
Two balls and no strikes. Reyes came in the 6th in relief of Suppan. Runner at third, only one out. Pirates couldn't score. McClellan scoreless top of the 7th with a pair of strikeouts. 2-0 pitch.
Pittsburgh's bullpen has posted a 1.35 ERA in the last 5 games. 270 and 195 batting average again since the All-Star break.
Pujols is now tied for second in home runs with Reynolds, Fielder, and Dunn in the National League. Joey Votto leads the league at 27. Albert now with 72 ribbies, tied with Votto, 2 back of David Wright. Ryan Howard with 81.
Votto's trying to pick up an MVP award, isn't he?
Well, we talk about Pujols and a chance at a Triple Crown. As Albert hits it sharply past third. The start of play tonight, Al, Joey Votto leads the league in hitting at 326, leads in home runs, and he is tied with Pujols, 72 RBIs. He's 9 back of Ryan Howard, 3rd place in RBIs in the National League.
High delivery, comes down, tomahawks it, and a little too much juice on that ball. Alvarez didn't want any part of it. Look at this. He's had a horrible day at the plate and did everything he could to make sure that he didn't put his face in front of that one. It was his 3rd hit for Albert.
His ears are tucked into the cap.
It's a good look for him, not for us.
Here's Holiday, who has walked and scored and twice flied to center. Back on July 24th of last year, Redbirds picked up Holiday, and this team rolled through the Central. Leadoff man in 5 of the 7 innings have been on for the Cardinals.
Cardinals have 7 hits. Albert has 3. His average back over 300 is Holiday's has fallen below it, at least for this at bat.
And in nearly 2 innings of work, it's been a nice job by the Cardinal bullpen. See the debut of Westbrook on Monday night, but he doesn't know about the legend of Bud Norris.
Cardinals got to Norris. The legend is, it's now a myth. It's been broken. Now Karstens, last night's starter, is the new sheriff against the Cardinals.
It's what, 12 scoreless innings this year?
Correct.
Steven Jackson was with the Yankees organization, and his first stint with the Pirates was when he was claimed off the waivers. He was designated for assignment and picked up again by Pittsburgh. 3-2 pitch, runner goes. That's a fair ball, and Pujols advances to second base. Colby Rasmus, the hitter. He's flying to center. Walked and scored in the fourth with a stolen base and also grounded out to second. Ludwig out. Now the pressure intensifies a little bit for some of these younger outfielders.
Very true. Now, Stavinoa has been brought up, but the Cardinals felt because of Stavinoa, the way John Jay has been swinging the bat, and also Alan Craig, that they could afford to deal one of their more productive hitters. The need for a starting pitcher was that great. You've seen that many times when young players are asked to do a little bit more than they're ready to do, some guys will rise to the occasion, others will falter.
One ball, one strike. What about the pressure, too, on the veterans like Holiday and Pujols with Ludwig out? They probably feel pressure anyway, but
well, sure they do.
And now that you take a Ludwig, out of the lineup, those two really have to produce.
Albert's always produced, and you can say the same thing for Matt. When you get paid what they get paid, along with that comes more responsibility. Tony's talked to that a lot about some players. They all want the high dollar contract, but with it comes more responsibility. And these guys have been doing this for way too long that they've shown they can handle it, and that's part of the reason why they have the contracts they do.
Pickoff play. Pujols back in safely.
Daylight, and when you see that the daylight between the runner and the position player, the open glove, you just turn and throw it right over the bag, and the fielder should be there.
Broken bat. Pujols threw a little dirt playfully on Ronnie Cedeno.
Now Cedeno went on that pickoff play, kind of tagged him on top of the helmet.
2-2 on Colby. No activity in the Cardinals bullpen. It'll be McClellan in the eighth. Saw McClellan come in, works quickly, and then you have this guy, Steven Jackson, working very, very slowly. Two. And Colby cranks one out to deep right. Will it carry? Yes! Just over the wall. And a home run. 17 homers this year for Colby Rasmus. I think it hit right off the top of the wall and then over the wall for a 2-run shot.
Well, he did right over that freecreditscore.com sign. As it looks like he finally got a fastball in the inner part of the plate. And this is something, and down even makes it more of a horrible location as far as the Pirates. Talking with people with the Pirates, they feel that Colby can only hit a fastball on the inner part of the plate, and they gave him one right in his wheelhouse.
Fastball right down the middle to Molina. 6-0 St. Louis. Second home run hit by the Cardinals tonight. The other by Albert Pujols. Right off the top of the wall. Colby now with 17 home runs. And he's driven in 45. And Paulette Williams is our merchandise winner. We'll see you in September on the long drive inning sweepstakes.
That's a new career high in home runs for Colby.
It's a base hit to right for Molina.
His third hit of this inning, the third hit from Molina. He and Albert both have 3 hit games.
It's been a while. First home run since June 27th at Kansas City.
All 16 of his home runs, which equaled his career high his rookie season last year, were hit in the first half. Of course, he had that little hamstring issue. So he hadn't been playing on an everyday basis. Stavanoa's moved to the on-deck circle.
Skip Schumacher, a pair of walks tonight, and is also grounded out to second. Stavanoa was hurt in Houston right before the All-Star break, trying to make a diving catch in right field. Hurt his shoulder.
Yeah, and he hit very well on his rehab. 368.
Two balls and no strikes. Schumacher in the air to right field. The 2-run homer to make it 6-0. There's activity now in the Cardinal bullpen. I believe that is Marshall Boggs, and that'll be the second time he's been up.
Boggs will come in this game, and Stavanoa will pinch hit. Stavanoa has 10 pinch hits and 2 pinch hit home runs this year.
So 2 outs and a runner at first. High chopper to third. Pedro Alvarez across the diamond. 2-run shot by Colby Rasmus, 6-0 after 7.